Loom is fucking weird. Any game that comes with a drama that's around 30 minutes for you to listen to before playing the game better have a pretty good fucking story to back it up, otherwise that's a little pretentious. As for Loom, I can be kind and say that the story is interesting enough that you'll want to wander around, but if I was not being kind, I could say that there's almost nothing here that means the audio drama is actually the most story you'll get in this game. Now, personally, when it came to Loom, I think that this game was a fun little journey, with the emphasis on the little. The game is very, very short, which is a shame because I feel like a lot of the ideas presented to me in Loom weren't expanded to their full potential. The music in this game, however, is great and filled with lots of character. I mean, yes, they do use Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky, but hey, that's not a knock against this game. I fucking love Dracula. Now, why was I being a little too harsh to this game? Well, probably because you can beat it in 3 hours. Like, you can just run through and, I mean, I didn't know much about this game going in, except from what I heard in the audio drama. But boy, I mean, it's easy and very short. Maybe if the puzzles had a little bit more difficulty to them, or maybe if there was just more actual substance in the game, like more things to do, then it wouldn't be so short. Now, I hate to say it because, like, there's a lot of really cool things in this. Like, I love the whole idea of, like, using music as the solution to puzzles, but there's just not that many, and I since I was going around and collecting everything and making sure to examine it, I pretty much always had the right solution. One of the fun things that this did take me back to was writing down all these little, oh, okay, so this will be this particular song, and this is this particular song, and I actually had my pen and paper there, and it took me back to the good old days. Now, that might not be charming for some people, however, as they don't want to revisit that. But for me, that's what I really enjoyed. The game, you play as Bobbin, and Bobbin isn't exactly the greatest of all names, but whatever. The highlights of the game for me were the City of Glass, the Dragon, and the Forge. I found that those places were the most interesting to me. This game still has a lot of the LucasArts comedy to it, although not as much as a lot of the other titles, but I think that actually serves the story better here. The ending kind of just comes out of almost nowhere. Like, when I say that, there's a thing that happens involving chaos, and spoilers to anyone that wants to play this, but it is fucking weird that a bunch of swans just fly off at the very end. Loom's not awful, it's very easy to beat. There's like too much that they're trying to do here in such a short amount of time that, you know, while you're like, oh man, that's interesting and that's interesting, nothing really gets expanded upon very far. And you can talk to a bunch of people and you can be like, oh, tell me about this, tell me about that. And it is interesting, but then it's just like, full stop. That's the end of the sentence. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I would have liked to have found out a little bit more about this, but I guess not. But, you know, constraints with time and money. But overall, I think Loom is good. It's just, man, it's really hard to recommend it to someone. It's just like, if you want to play a game that you can beat in a single sitting and, you know, have a single glass of whatever you want to drink beside it, that's fine. You'll finish it before you finish the glass. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory, and it's fun, but very, very short, and don't go in expecting too much and you'll have a great time. That's my review of Loom. Thanks for listening.